got a special way about her, a jewel on the scene. A friend's a friend forever, there's no in between. She changed her name to Alden, with a future bright and warm. But the sunshine of New Mexico was the calm before the storm. She's a rock, she's a lady, she's diamonds and gold, a special ore true to the core, Rockie the mother lode.
We were living in New Mexico and I was 9 months pregnant. About a week before I delivered, I started having some symptoms. Unfortunately, they mirrored someone being 9 months pregnant, not being able to sleep at night. I wasn't able to catch my breath. I was very short of breath. Went to the doctor about every day up until the day we delivered, and went to the ER one night. Finally, we got to the point where I just knew we needed to be at the hospital even though I wasn't having contractions. So we went in about 10 that night and I gave birth at about 8 in the morning. And we had a beautiful, healthy baby. Jake was born, and I still wasn't feeling great, but just the excitement over waiting 9 months and finally getting to see this beautiful child. Mike was so excited and started making the phone calls to the family, and it was just a magical moment.
Well, it may be hard to imagine, but on February 8th, on the day that Jake was born, the emotions that I went through on that day was going from really the ultimate high, and that's having the birth of our son, to the ultimate low.
She got a sense of survival, fighting hard as she can, with the heart of a lion and the touch of a lamb.
They decided they needed to move me out of the room I'd been in for so long, so they assisted me and put me in a wheelchair and got me to the next room. My mom knew immediately something was wrong with me. I told her I was so hot and to just help me take off all my gown and everything, and she touched me and I was freezing cold. And they started to call emergency doctors and cardiologists. In that time, Mike's brother, who's an emergency doctor, surprised us with a visit.
And I look down the hall, there comes my brother John. I'm crying out in the hallway, and I'm sure John thought, well, he's just excited to see me near the birth of his son. And John came up to me and he goes, how you doing? And I said, John, something's going on. Rockie can't breathe. We don't know what's happening.
John came in the room. I'll never forget the look on his face, because I could tell right away that he was extremely concerned. At some point, the doctors and Mike's brother told my family that things didn't look good and that they should call the rest of my family and see who would be available to come over. They obviously put me on a lot of medication. They put a heart catheter in, and at some point I was out of it and was moved to the ICU. I know that they at one point thought that there might be a heart available for transplant, and that was something everybody was really excited about, because that was going to be something that would offer me some longevity. I'm not really sure to this day what happened, but by morning that heart wasn't available.
Life's in the balance, hanging by prayer, reaching out for miracles. Is anybody there?
One good thing that happened is I had a little bump overnight where my ejection fraction went up slightly, and they thought maybe she'll pull through now. Maybe she'll continue to just keep getting better and better. So I did stabilize, but unfortunately I stabilized at still a very significantly low level, and so I still wasn't out of the woods, but I'd made it through that first night. I was in the ICU for I think about 3 weeks, and then they moved me to the step-down unit, and then I went home, I think just under a month after giving birth. I'll never forget the different benchmarks that we had. The first week when I was able to walk from the bedroom out to the living room so I could have a change of scenery was our big celebration that night. I think the second week I was able to walk outside of the house, so this is about a month and a half after Jake was born. Well, I couldn't walk every day, but I could walk one day and then maybe I'd feel sick for about 3 days and then I could walk the next day. So maybe every 3 days we would tackle one more mailbox. And just walking from our living room after about 2 months to our mailbox totally wore me out. And then it was, okay, in 3 days we're gonna walk to our neighbor's mailbox. And then I started heart rehab. Our goal was to get me to a half an hour at 2 miles an hour. And after a year, I was able to hit a full hour at 4 miles an hour. And so again, a lot of that comes from my coach, which was my husband, which I'm very grateful for now. I'm sure I wasn't showing that at the time and probably not really feeling it.
To go through that and know that she's been able to recover from that, for the advances that have been made in medicine, the American Heart Association, all the things that have taken place in medicine today have provided us with an opportunity that today, 21 years later, I'm sitting here with Rockie, talking with her about this experience that we have. We know we have a 21-year-old son who is doing amazing things in college, but there's a great chance that that may not have been possible all those years ago if we wouldn't have had the support of the American Heart Association.
And now I'm so incredibly fortunate. I'm on no medications. I have my own heart. I have an amazing husband, and I have an incredible, healthy 21-year-old son, and I'm just blessed.
She's a rock, she's a lady, she's a miracle to hold, a special born true to the core. Rocky the mother lode.
It's me, Jake. I just wanted to come in for a little bit and apologize for the fact that I couldn't be here today. I hope you know that I wish more than anything in the world that I was able to attend this. And I'm so grateful that your heart healed, because it's such an amazing heart, and I'm so glad to have a place in it.
She's